Welcome to your July 9th update from the 2019 World Series of Poker. I'm Sarah Herring, and this is the time of year that we all wait for. Courtesy of 888 Poker, it's day 4 of the main event. It's in the money time at the 2019 World Series of Poker. After 3 full days of grinding at the tables, players are finally getting paid. All players starting the day are guaranteed $15K, and the pay jumps are pretty small until we get much closer to the end of the tournament. There are 1,286 players starting the day of the 8,569 that ponied up the $10K for their chance at the top prize of $10 million. There's still a long way to go to get there, but this is definitely where the poker action gets really exciting. There are still several former main event champions in the mix, including Hall of Fame nominee Chris Moneymaker, Qui Nguyen, and Johnny Chan. But unfortunately, last year's champion John Cynn busted yesterday. Some other notables to keep your eye on with healthy stacks include Joseph Cheong, Owen, Robert-Bellande and Sasha Liu. Preben Stokan, one of the chip leaders, and Stokan told PokerNews last night that he was down to 1 chip in the first break of the day. Chip in a chair is probably one of the most overused expressions in poker, but there's a reason. And it's always a good reminder for those sad faces I see wandering the halls of the Rio that if you want to see where Stokan sits now, take a look at the top 10 chip counts coming into the day. We've briefly discussed some of the early disqualifications from the World Series of Poker, and if you listen to the PokerNews podcast, you will know all of the details. But one of the disqualifications recently issued a statement to PokerNews. Robert-Bellande was extremely drunk, and in what most would say was a joking fashion, he scooped another stack into his stack. Now, obviously, WSOP Vice President Jack Effel cannot allow this type of behavior in any event, much less the World Series of Poker main event, and he trespassed the player, but many players did come to his defense to say that this is not his normal behavior, and Bellande admitted in his statement that he was very drunk and dealing with some personal issues and doesn't even remember a lot of what happened. He offered what I read to be a sincere apology, but you can read the full statement yourself. It'll be linked in the description box below. We have finally reached day 2 of the Little One for One Drop. 2,025 players from 3 starting days will all be coming together under the same roof. And with unlimited re-entry and registration open until the end of the second level today, we expect the prize pool to continue to grow. Some players who will likely not be seen back at registration due to their healthy current stacks are Vladimir Geshkombine, Daniel Ott, Ryan D'Angelo, and Valentin Vornicu. Day 2 of the 3K6 Max is also starting today at 2 p.m. There are 57 players left competing for the top prize of more than $130K. 193 players entered yesterday, and there is some stiff competition still left in the mix, including both Mark Radoja and Calvin Anderson, who've had incredible summers, and former main event champion Joe McKeon. The final 50 is also returning for day 2, and as is expected, it attracted the biggest names in high-stakes poker. There were a total of 109 entrants coming from 70 individual players, and late registration is still open until the start of play at approximately 4 p.m. 44 players are currently returning today, including Seth Davies, who's leading the way with more than 2 million chips and looking to capture bracelet number 2. That being said, Dan Smith is right on his tail, and being that this is unofficially deemed the summer where players who should have a bracelet that don't have one yet are getting them, my money's on Smith. But Wonder Kids Fedor Holtz and Ali Imsirovic have very solid stacks, and just at a cursory glance at the leaderboard, you can see it's anyone's game. There's a $1,500 Pot Limit Omaha bounty kicking off today, and it is definitely a crowd favorite. Each player has a $500 bounty, so you can walk home with plenty of cash without even cashing the event. Last year it saw an 833 entry field, and with the way this summer is going, most are expecting that we'll surpass that number this year. The other event is a 3K no-limit event, and while most of the attention is going to the main event, this event garnered more than 1,000 entries last year, and of course, PokerNews will be there covering all of the action in all of these events at the 50th Annual World Series of Poker. Thanks so much to 888 Poker for sponsoring this update from Day 4 at the Rio All Suite Hotel and Casino. I'm Sarah Herring, you're watching PokerNews.com.